first ever major trophy. But the question has to be asked, exactly how? City have been in control of this game since the very first blast of the whistle. Palace have barely crossed the halfway line with their only genuine attack. Eza scored. City have had golden opportunities to find the back of the Palace net, including a penalty which was saved by Henderson minutes after he was almost sent off for deliberately handling outside his area. Well, at half-time, the only statistic that matters is Crystal Palace 1, City 0.
Oh, you know, I was in there last night.
What, you?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah, serious, bro. It was wild, like, you won't believe it.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Welcome, welcome, one and all! Yay! We've got a real variety show for you tonight. Homegrown talent, and they're from the local club just down the road. Ooh. They'll be showing some brand new tricks. How about that, eh?
Here I go again, thinking with my heart.
The one and only Bill Foden. Woo! Is that the best you can do? Now this I have to say. Blimey. A magician on and off the pitch.
Could do anything, that one.
Erling Haaland singing, ladies and gentlemen, yes! Oh. But it's not his fault. It's our equipment.
Go on, have you done this then?
Edison was like juggling bottles and the whole team was there, and like legends as well, like past legends.
You catch some rubbish.
What is 365 times 200?
101,470.
He's only right, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see that? Dancing Diaz! Not doing it. Here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the shirt raffle, signed by the boss himself.
47.
But honestly,
What a sash. And our home kit. Talk to you about making up this stuff.
But every time I see you,
Pass me that eye, man. There's no way. Give me that now.
oh, darling, darling, darling.
Yeah, welcome back to Wembley Stadium, and we're reflecting on a quite extraordinary first half of football in which City were in complete control of it, but they trail by one genuine Crystal Palace attack to 0, scored by Eza. So many talking points from that first half, but one that is astonishing is that Henderson was still on the field to make that penalty save from Marmoush. Marmoush hit a penalty, Henderson saved it, but a few minutes before there was a ball over the top. Haaland gave chase, Henderson came out of his area hoping that he could get to it, and then he put his arm out, sort of shoveled the ball with his outstretched right arm, got there in front of Haaland, pushed it away and out of danger. And then there was an angle on the replays that we were shown that showed his hand was outside the line of the penalty area when he touched the ball. VAR had a long study of it, a really long study of it, that said there wasn't enough evidence to convince them that Henderson had handled it outside the area. Well, I know, Andy, that there are images circulating on social media that confirm what I'd seen on the 18-yard camera, and without sounding as though we're bitter and we've got blue-tinted spectacles, the fact is VAR are in there for just such an eventuality. Well, an extraordinary first half, but let's go down and hear what Kel's got to say. Yeah, well, I mean, problems getting down to Kel. I can see him at pitch side, but unfortunately you're not hearing him. So you're back with me, Alistair Mann, here on commentary duty this afternoon. Just reflecting on an extraordinary first half of football, which City dominated. Henderson made a brilliant save to deny Haaland early on. And then very shortly after, the ball suddenly went to Mateta on the halfway. He held the ball up, played it into Munoz. Munoz put in a cross and Eze tucked it in. Against the run of play is not even half the accuracy. Palace hadn't crossed the halfway line, and so after that and before that, City were dominating, had chances galore, more than 80% possession. We thought we were going to get the equaliser when a ball came over the top towards Haaland, who raced onto it, and Henderson came out of his net and got it away with his outstretched right hand. And then VAR studied it to see if his hand was outside the box, and we were shown many angles, including an 18-yard camera, which showed, certainly to the naked eye, as if he had handled it outside the box. VAR looked at it for a long time and considered it not outside the box, and then Henderson stayed on the field. And then a few minutes after that, City won a penalty. Bernardo Silva brought down by Mitchell. Haaland took the ball but then gave it to Marmoush, and Marmoush hit the penalty, and Henderson tipped it round the post. And on the rebound, City nearly scored again, but again Henderson made a brilliant save. So we have had an extraordinary first half to reflect upon. Let's now go down to Kel. It looks as though he can hear us and he can join us. Kel.
Thank you so much, Alistair Mann. I am pitch side here at Wembley, half-time. And as we said, it's Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 1. Michael Brown alongside me. Michael, what is your assessment of that first half?
Well, you just look at the percentage of possession that we've had. We've controlled the game. We knew when we set up, we talked about it, didn't we, pre-show? The counter-attack, the danger down the right-hand side.
Yep.
That cross coming across, nice finish from Eze. How do we react? What do? We control it even more. We missed a penalty, which is very, very unfortunate. But obviously there's a big talking point as well. There's the possible red card for Henderson, denying a goal-scoring opportunity, and how is he not, between all of them, whether it's the referee or whether it's the group of officials, come to the conclusion and issued that decision.
Yeah. And
that will be a huge talking point. But you've got to give credit to Palace. They've done their job. They've done exactly what we thought they would do. How can we change it at half-time will be the question Pep will be asking them, and his staff will be looking to try and get some sort of momentum.
It is a well-executed game plan from Crystal Palace so far. Let's talk about the few talking points you mentioned there, Michael. So first of all, the potential sending off for Henderson, the keeper. Talk us through the moment, and have you been... I've not seen replays. Have you seen replays, and what is your assessment of what happened?
Yeah, I was just looking at it then, and I was looking at the situation as Erling Haaland tried to get into the ball. You see Henderson just come out of the area and sort of push the ball away, with his hand. So they've had a look at it. They'll make some sort of line of why it wasn't and why it should not. So you're going to see a lot of pundits now are already looking at the situation and saying it's a bad decision. So at that point, it's one of those. I think another big talking point was obviously Mahmoud taking the penalty.
Yes.
We're all there waiting and going, here he is, Erling Haaland. He's back, it's fair, he's going to take him. But there's lots of detail going into this. It's not just, randomly I'll put my hand up.
Yeah.
They've planned it, they've looked at it, they've forecast it in all the practicing in penalties in the week. And remember, because it's an FA Cup final, that they've done more than normal in case the game goes to penalties.
Of course.
So we've got to understand that it's not just a decision
and
made
in the
lightly.
moment thing now.
So they know exactly where that is. He's come on, he's took it, fair play to him. I've missed penalties and it's a hard skill to do, but it's a good save and away we go. But now, what is next?
Yeah.
What can we do? How can we get more control? How can we get more opportunities? But they've got something to fight for, haven't they? So it's going to be a tough second half.
Looking at that then, Michael, what are the things you'd like to see, or maybe the changes from that first half that City need to make to try and, one, get the goal back, but then go on to obviously win the game as well?
I think you look at the middle of the pitch as well. We might need runners going past that defensive line of Crystal Palace, or wider positions. Can we get a few earlier crosses in, take the chance, and give Erling a few more things to get after? And we also, as well, we've just got to shore up in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
At times, they've not obviously conceded possession. That's why we've seen the choice from Pep, how he's gone so attacking.
Yeah.
1v1 situations in the wider areas as well are going to be clinical, and we've got to find a way. At times, you've got a patience, and you can say, well, okay, we're here, there's a long way, we can take a draw today. It's a cup final.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to go for it. We're going to have to open it up and accept that they could hit us on the counter. But at some point, maybe on the hour mark, we've got to really, really put the pressure on. Not to leave it too late was the message what we had last week.
Yes.
At Southampton. We made the change quickly with Doku, didn't we? And it's going to be similar to that.
Wanted to ask, on the goal that we conceded, obviously it's nothing that City fans wanted to see, but it felt like a carbon copy of the goal we conceded at the Etihad and goals we've seen a lot against City. Is there much you can do against that, or what can City do better to try and limit that from happening?
It's tough. I mean, what you're looking to do, aren't you, is there a break down the right-hand side? So first, why has it happened? How did they get that break? And then from there on, can you stop that cross? And then it's about runners. Someone screen in the middle of the pitch, in that 18-yard box, front post zone, middle zone. Me as a runner thinking, is there a midfielder being tracked? Is there anyone? And you can see, can't you, it was really millimetres away, and Eze just manages to get in front. So it happens at times. You get the run. It's now we have to do something.
We do indeed. Final word, Michael, before we have to go. If you are looking at making that change on the 60-minute mark, who are you bringing on?
Well, you're the new Pep now, as we discussed beforehand. Who are you bringing on? So,
I'll tell you who I'm bringing on.
Nice choices, isn't there? Jack Grealish, Phil Foden. There's options, so we'll see.
We'll see. Listen, Michael, thank you so much. Come join us at full time. It is currently Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 1. We're still all to play for.
Wembley, please show your appreciation for our incredible stadium DJ today, Mr. Tony Perry.
Breakfast? Sing first.